Hi, I'm Yatharth Sharma, and I hope the lighting situation is fine. Yeah, I think I'm very much visible. So, welcome to this Excel tutorial. Today, I, along with my teammates, will be discussing on this tool called chart. It's a very powerful tool in Excel. If you want to know the definition, the proper definition of it, basically it helps us to compare data. It helps us to visually represent the data better, and basically it helps us to represent our findings better. It's a way of storytelling. It's a way of telling to whomsoever is consuming that what this has been happening, and these are the trends that I can compare with this tool. So let's move towards the practicality of it. So in an Excel, a chart group can be found under the Insert tab. So to basically represent your data in the form of charts, the first thing that you can do is select your data, and I'm doing it with the help of Shift and arrow keys because it's a smaller set of data. You can use any other way to select the data, and then click on the Insert tab. It's already there, and you move towards the charts group. Here you can see a lot of options here, and since I'm using Excel on my Mac, I also have this additional option of recommended charts. So let's talk about different types of charts. There are a lot of varieties that you can see here. There are bar charts. These are column charts. There are line charts. There are pie charts, and there are scatter charts as well. So let's talk. We'll dig deeper into every variety further into this tutorial. But for now, let's assume that we want a bar chart, which is basically representing the data in the form of bars. So we'll select this column chart, and we'll select 2D column, for example, because I want this, and I want my data to be represented in this manner. Here you go. You double click on that, and here is your representation. I'll zoom in into this thing a bit, and yeah, it's available. So basically, on the x-axis, you can see different names of the account managers who have minted the following profit, which is visible on the y-axis, and you can compare the data set. So the blue bar represents sales summary in 2016 in quarter one. The orange bar represents the amount for quarter two. Likewise, the gray scale represents the scale for quarter three, and yellow tells us for quarter number four. And you can also let's add the chart title as well. So if you want to add a chart title, double click on it, and you'll be able to edit it. Now type anything that you want. One second, where is the data? One second. Yeah, so coming back to editing the chart title, you can just click on chart title and type whatever you want. For example, I am entering sales summary. So I hope you got a gist of what a bar chart is. Now let me move on to like another. I'm just showing you different varieties of chart right now. So for example, if I want to update my chart and convert it into a pie chart, so what will I do? First of all, I'll click on the chart, and then I'll right click on it. Here you can see change the chart type option, and further going down this lane, we find that we can see different options. So if I want to convert it into a line chart, that is basically my data will be represented in the form of different lines. I click on line. I'll select what I want. For example, I want this, for example. Now you can view your charts in different ways. Again, let's try this again. Let's convert this into a pie chart. I want to see it into different quarters in a circle. So how will I do this? I will click on the chart. I'll right click on it. going down here, we see this option of change chart type, select pie and 3D pie. Let's do it 3D pie. Let's see what happens. Wow. Now we can see that we can represent our data in various types of charts in this manner. All right, so let me move further onto the topic. So now I'll be talking about instant charts. So what are instant charts? Instant charts are basically if you want to represent a single data set in a cell. How will you do that? Instant chart is basically a way to represent your data, single set of data in a cell. For example, select a cell. I have selected G3 and now click on the single set of data. Example, I'm selecting the data of quarter 4 and then I'm clicking on insert tab. Under this option, we see this sparklines button under the charts group. Click on insert sparklines and and then you can see the three options. It's line, column, and win and loss. So I want to represent my data in this H it was G3, right? So G3. So I'll click on this thing. I'll select the data, insert, sparklines, line, and select the place. So we'll enter G3. We'll click on OK. And you can see that in this single cell, we can see the representation of a single set of data, and that is quarter 4, sales summary for quarter 4. Accordingly, I'll do this for a bar chart as well. I'll represent a bar in a single cell. So again, I'll do it for quarter 3 now. Select the data set, click on the insert tab, go to sparklines under the group, under the charts group, select column, and I want to place it in G4. For example, type G4 and click on OK. It's visible now. It's visible on G4. Now, let's talk about if you want. Now, moving on my last topic, how would you update an existing chart? For example, I've added another quarter here, and if I want it to be represented here, how will I do that without toggling the data manually and you know making a new table, making a new chart? So basically, right click on the sales summary. Basically I'm telling you how to format a chart. Right click on it, click on select data. For example, I want to include quarter 5 as well, include quarter 5. And for the values, I'll copy the syntax from this quarter 4. And in place of this, since we are working with F cell, we have to replace E with F in this one and also in this one. And now we have done that. Click on OK. Now we can see that there is representation from quarter 5 as well. You can see another legend being added here.
Hi guys, I'm Sriraj from 3 FIBA, roll number 44, and I'm gonna teach you how to use line chart, scatter chart, picture fill, and how to adjust chart sizes in Excel. And to use picture fill, we have to go to insert and click on this picture icon, and you can choose any of the files you want to use, and click on insert, and it will show you the picture you selected. And to move it around the file, you have uh, you have to click on any blank spaces in between and drag it anywhere you want. And to adjust the size, you have to click on the corners of the uh, corner of the picture and drag it at what size you would like to use. And to cut it, you just have to right click and cut. And to use to use scatter chart, we have to go to insert and click on this icon in scatter in charts. And this will give you scatter chart, and there are 5 types of scatter chart, and we are going to use the first one. This gives you a scatter chart, and to uh, adjust the size or move it around the Excel file, you have to click on any empty spaces in the on the chart, and to adjust it the size you wish, Same like the picture fill, you have to drag it around the edges of the chart, and to if you would like to change the design of the chart, you have to go to chart design and choose the picture design you want, and to use line chart we have to go do the same as scatter chart, but instead of using this icon we have to use this icon and click on the line chart we want to use, and this will give you your line chart, and and to edit you just have to double click, and you can change the borders, color and transparency of your chart however you like, and you can edit each and everything by clicking, double clicking on what you want to write. Here this is line chart, so I'm gonna use line chart. That's all. Thank you guys.
Ready? Today I'm going to teach you how to use how to format charts. So first we will begin by creating a chart. So select this table, go on to insert, and then you'll see a small option of insert column or bar chart. Select that and select any chart, but I would prefer a 3D chart. And then to format the chart, you should click on the y-axis and double left click on it. Then an option will show up where you need to scroll down, click on number, scroll down again. Then over here you can see a category, click on that, and suppose I want it in percentage, I can just click on percentage, make this 0, click enter, and as you can see it is all in percentage. Suppose I want to bring it back to the currency, I can again click on the category and change everything to currency. Now secondly, we will learn how to change a chart style. So to change a chart style, we need to select the whole chart, go on to design, and then you can see an option here says chart styles, and there are numerous options over here. You can click on any one. Now I prefer this one, so I would go for that. And that's how you change chart styles. Now suppose you want to change the color of the bars on the chart. Now for that you have to go to change colors, and you can choose any of the color palettes here. Suppose I want to like this. Okay, that's not nice. This is good. I can change it into this. Next thing, what we're going to learn is how to add data labels on the chart. So again, select the whole chart, click on it, and then you can see this plus sign over here. Click on that chart elements, and then over here you'll see a box saying data labels. Click on that, and okay, it got a bit messy, but here you can see all your data labels. Now expand the chart a bit so that it does not get all messy. Okay, although the data is quite low, so it did get a bit messy at the end. But yeah, thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Aakaankshya and we will now be exploring some essential aspects of creating visually appealing and informative charts in Microsoft Excel. We will cover access options, chart titles, legends, and data tables to help you make your data come to life. Before getting started, remember that the best chart is not which has all sorts of formatting and labels, but the one which has a good readability. Excel charts are a powerful tool for presenting data visually. They can help you convey complex information in a way that is easy to understand. But to create effective charts, you need to understand and control several key elements. Let's start with access options. When you click on a data chart, you can see the plus sign, and when you click on that, you can see various chart elements. We'll start with axis options. Click on the drop down menu and you can see primary horizontal axis and primary vertical axis. We'll just uncheck the primary horizontal axis and see you only have the sales figures. Now when I want to make a chart which has a focus on only the sales figures and not really the account managers, I can stick to this. And similarly the other way around, or if I want both the figures, I can have both as well. Now when you click on more options, okay, now how do you understand which axis is one talking about exactly, right? So the easiest way to figure that out is, can you see this box around the x-axis text? The box represents whatever axis we are talking about, whatever axis we will be formatted here. Now, what is the axis type? Is it a text axis or is it a date axis? It's a text axis, right? It's actually not very, it's a good idea to just leave it on automatically select based on data. That's not a problem. Now, vertical axis crosses. This is, for example, let's try at category number. I will just type 6, enter. Can you see the vertical axis has now moved, right? But we don't really want that. And we can also have at maximum category, so it has moved to the extreme right, but we don't really want that, so we'll just let it be at automatic. Now what is axis position? And it talks about something known as tick marks, right? What are tick marks exactly? We'll see that first. Now can you see the, when I zoom in, wait, can you see these small blue lines? Just a second. When I see what happens when you click on inside, can you see the position of these blue lines has changed? Now if I say cross, it just helps you figure out what is the it just helps you point out the data to the corresponding value. Now we'll go back to axis position. What happens when I click on between tick marks? Can you see now the graph is plotted between the squares and not on the vertical or horizontal grid lines, right? I think, but it's a better idea to just have it on the lines, because this is not some sort of maybe average or something, so we'll just let it be on the grid lines. Now what happens when I click on number? Click on this, click on number. The category is currency, right? Now what if I want to change the symbol of the currency? Say I don't want USD, I want, say, Bitcoin. Can you see the symbol has changed now? And there is also something called linked to source. When I check this box, it means that whatever changes you make to your data that has that is being treated as the source for your chart, when you change that, the automatically the symbol on your chart will also change. Okay. Okay, see, you have your distance from the axis. We'll just change it. Okay, I'll just move this down so you can see. This will not affect much, but we'll just say 50. This has moved closer, right? A bit closer to the axis. Just a bit closer. And then you have label position. Is it next to, do you want it next to axis? Do you want high? Okay. See how this changes. Sorry, I'll just go down. And or is it low, or is it none? But we just want it next to the axis, right? So mostly you will have you won't need to change a lot of things. It will just be bare minimum, so don't worry about that. Now this one, this is text, right? The these are account manager names, right? So that's text. We Okay, so here the minimum is minus 25,000. We don't really want that. Zero is fine, right? Zero. Now the maximum is 45,000. There is no requirement of $45,000, right? So we can just have 30,000 as the maximum figure. Just do 30,000 and enter. Right? Looks better now. Not so crowded, right? And what are units? Okay, can you see this? It starts at zero, then 5,000, 10,000. The difference is of 5,000. So I want it, say, for 10,000. The other things you can just change according to your own requirements. What is this display units? It's in thousands, right? So we can just click thousands, and now you can see it has just labeled 1,000. Now this increases the readability of the chart. Now that was it about the axis. Let's move on to axis titles. What happens when we click here? See, what exactly are these? Are these sales figures or what exactly? So we'll just write sales. And what are these? Are these clients or are these account managers or are these just random people? They are account managers. So I'll just write that too. And then you have something called chart titles. A good title can provide context and highlight the main message of your chart. Now, what is this chart exactly about? Right? I want a chart title here. Quarter one is fine, but what exactly quarter one? So, sales summary for quarter one. Now we will move on to legends. Legends play a crucial role in helping your audience understand the different data series in your chart. Now, this is a bad chart example to help you understand about legends. We will just move on to a pie chart. Now, this is a pie chart of a particular account manager, Ananya, for all the 4 quarters. When you click on the chart area, you click on the plus sign, and then you have something called a legend. Can you see what changed here? You have all the colors and the corresponding quarter for which for whatever the colors represent. For example, blue represents quarter one and gray represents quarter three and so on. Let us now explore data tables. Data tables can provide a tabular representation of the data for your chart. Okay, now we will learn about data labels and data tables. What are these? Let's see what happens when we click on data labels. Can you see now you have the exact figures corresponding to the plotted point? Similarly, you have a data table as well. For example, say I don't want to, crowd my chart as such, but I also want to know the figures. So we can just have a data table separately in the chart itself. Thank you for watching our presentation on Excel chart elements. We hope you found this information helpful in your data visualization journey. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please feel free to leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Excel tips and tutorials. Thank you.